President Trump says the framework for a possible peace deal between the U.S. and Iran could be signed as early as tomorrow. It would set a path toward ending the war between the two countries, which has lasted more than 100 days. Let's bring you back to day one. That was the last day of February when the U.S. and Israel launched a massive preemptive strike against Iran's military and killed their supreme leader. Operation Epic Fury kicked off a series of retaliatory attacks from Iran that targeted the Gulf, U.S. embassies, military bases, and commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Hundreds of retaliatory missiles and drones were launched in March and April. But on April 8th, Pakistan helped mediate a first attempt at a peace deal in the form of a 40-day ceasefire. Days later, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance traveled to meet with Iranian officials, but those talks failed. In early May, the combat phase of Operation Epic Fury ended, but the effects of those attacks are still being felt across the world. That brings us to today, and Jen Sullivan has details about the ongoing negotiations and the impact the fighting has had on the economy.
President Donald Trump posting on social media Saturday that the U.S. and Iran are expected on Sunday to sign a framework for talks that could end the war between the countries. Iran's military force denied it would sign that day and criticized his, quote, unusual existence on the timing, which lands on his birthday. Few details have been released about the terms of the possible agreement, which is officially being called a Memorandum of Understanding. If signed, it would trigger a 60-day period of more technical negotiations, according to a senior White House official. And it isn't clear if Iran's supreme leader has yet approved it. During an interview Friday, Iran's foreign minister said it would be the first of two phases.
The second phase of final agreement will be covering sanctions removal and the nuclear program and one or two other issues.
Iran ending its nuclear ambitions has been a key sticking point all along for the U.S.
Iran will in no way, shape, or form have a nuclear weapon or purchase a nuclear weapon.
Some analysts say reaching a final deal to end the war can be a long process as the two nations iron out every specific detail.
What steps will we be prepared to take if we believe that Iran is not abiding by these agreements?
It's been more than 100 days since U.S. and Israeli forces launched strikes on Iran. In that time, gas prices have surged roughly 37% due to maritime traffic essentially halting in the Strait of Hormuz. The waterway's closure has cut off 20% of the world's oil supply from global markets. Gas prices have been dropping recently. As of Saturday, the national average of a gallon of regular gas was $4.09. Still high, but 42 cents cheaper than a month ago, according to AAA. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
And Tennesseans are still feeling the pain at the pump. Here's a look at the gas prices across the state. Right here in Knox County, you're looking at an average of $3.60 for a gallon of gas. That's lower than the state average and the national average.